Hello and welcome to Black Pearls, the show where we celebrate the achievements of Black women both past and present. Today we're going to talk about a remarkable woman who defied racism and sexism to become the first African American woman and first Native American to hold a pilot license. Her name was Bessie Coleman. She was an early American civil aviator who performed in notoriously dangerous air shows in the 1920s. Let's learn more about her amazing life and legacy. Bessie Coleman was born on January 26, 1892, in Atlanta, Texas, the 10th of 13 children of George Coleman, an African American who had Cherokee grandparents, and Susan Coleman, who was African American. When she was 2 years old, her family moved to Waxahachie, Texas, where they lived as sharecroppers. Bessie grew up working in the cotton fields, but she also loved to read and study. She was an outstanding math student who attended a segregated one-room school. She completed her elementary education there and then went on to attend a missionary school on scholarship when she was 12. At the age of 18, she enrolled in the Oklahoma Colored Agricultural and Normal University in Langston, Oklahoma, now called Langston University, but she only completed one term before her money ran out and she returned home. In 1915, when she was 23, Bessie moved to Chicago, Illinois, where she lived with her brothers. She worked as a manicurist and a restaurant manager and became interested in the new profession of aviation. She had heard stories from World War I pilots who visited the salon where she worked, and she dreamed of flying herself. However, she faced discrimination as a Black woman who wanted to become a pilot. No aviation schools in the United States would accept her as a student, but Bessie was not discouraged. She decided to learn French and go to France for flight school. In 1920, Bessie was accepted at the Caudron Brothers School of Aviation in Le Crotoy, France. There she learned to fly on a Newport Type 82 biplane with a steering system that consisted of a vertical stick the thickness of a baseball bat in front of the pilot and a rudder bar under the pilot's feet. On June 15, 1921, she became the first American woman to obtain an international pilot's license from the Fédération Aéronautique Internationale, FAI. She was also the earliest known Black person to earn an international pilot's license. Bessie returned to the United States in 1921 as a celebrity. She was greeted by cheering crowds and featured in newspapers across the country. She became a popular flyer at aerial shows, where she performed daring maneuvers such as loops, spins, dives, and barrel rolls. She also wore flamboyant outfits that matched her plane's colors. She was nicknamed Queen Bess and Brave Bessie by her fans and admirers. However, she also faced racism and sexism in her career. She refused to perform before segregated audiences in the South and often had difficulty finding hotels that would accommodate her. Despite many challenges, Bessie had a vision of opening a flight school for Black aviators. She spoke at schools and churches to encourage Black people's interest in aviation. She also raised money for her cause by giving lectures and selling souvenir pictures of herself. She wanted to use her fame and skills to empower her community and break down barriers of discrimination. Unfortunately, Bessie's dream was cut short by a tragic accident. On April 30, 1926, she was preparing for an aerial show in Jacksonville, Florida. During a test flight, the plane malfunctioned and went into a dive and then a spin. Bessie, who was not wearing a seatbelt, was thrown out of the open cockpit and fell 2,000 feet to her death. William Wills, her mechanic, also died when the plane crashed. Bessie was only 34 years old. Bessie Coleman's funeral was attended by thousands of people, including prominent Black leaders and aviators. She was buried in Lincoln Cemetery in Chicago, Illinois. Her legacy lives on in the many people she inspired with her courage and ambition. She paved the way for other Black women pilots such as Willa Brown, Janet Bragg, and Mae Jemison. She also influenced the formation of organizations such as the Bessie Coleman Aero Club, the Bessie Coleman Aviators Club, and the Tuskegee Airmen. In 1995, the U.S. Postal Service issued a stamp in her honor. In 2006, she was inducted into the National Aviation Hall of Fame. She is also commemorated by several statues, plaques, and monuments across the country. Bessie Coleman was a Black pearl who shone brightly in the sky. She was a pioneer who broke boundaries and soared above expectations, a hero who dared to dream and pursue her passion. She was Bessie Coleman, the first Black woman pilot. Thank you for watching this episode of Black Pearls. If you enjoyed it, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more stories of distinguished women of color. Until next time, stay inspired and keep flying.